The drill bit seized with a screech that echoed up the kilometer-long shaft. The temperature readout spiked into the red.
That's not ice. That's metal.
Seismic scans show nothing but pure ice. There are no metallic deposits near here. You must be misreading the sensor.
Before anyone could argue, she hit the emergency stop. The drill fell silent, the vibration dying in the metal floors.
Get me a full ground-penetrating sweep. Every channel, every frequency. I want to know what we just hit.
The holographic display flickered, then painted a shape that stole the breath from the room.
I am reading a return that's over 8,000 meters along its primary axis. The density profile is metallic. That's not a meteorite.
It's artificial. Look at those edges. Nothing natural forms like that.
If this object is artificial, it predates any known human civilization. That's impossible.
They had unearthed something that shouldn't exist, and it was already changing everything they knew. The follow-up scans took 6 hours. Each pass sharpened the impossible geometry buried beneath the ice.
The radar resolves a hull structure. Angular, brutalist, no known design language. But the scale is unsettling.
It's a ship. No question. Look at those engine nacelles. But how did it get here?
The carbon dating from the ice layers came back with a number no one was prepared to accept.
The accretion strata have been undisturbed for 12,000 years. That places construction at roughly 12,000 BCE.
That predates any known human civilization. But the metal signature is Earth standard. It has to be human.
Impossible. Your species hadn't mastered bronze then, let alone interstellar engineering. This is a mistake.
The data is solid. If not human, then who? But everything about it reads Terran. I am ordering a thermal melt to expose the hull.
Within the hour, heating arrays were lowered into the ice, sending plumes of steam into the frozen dark. Somewhere below, a leviathan rested in ice, waiting to be woken, and they were about to knock on its door. The thermal melt took 18 hours. When the steam cleared, the first panels of hull were exposed, angular and brutal, like nothing Earth had ever built.
The alloy matches our preliminary spectrography. These are Earth-sourced materials. But the construction is alien and human at once.
A low-frequency tremor ran through the metal. The hull shivered.
Seismic sensors just registered an internal pulse. Something inside is reacting to our heat.
Reacting how? It's been frozen for 12,000 years.
Energy signatures are cycling, as if our presence triggered a dormant reactor. We need extreme caution.
I'm not turning back. We're too close. Prepare a microdrone for interior reconnaissance. I want to see what's in there.
The command went out. A laser cutter was programmed to breach a small port, just wide enough for a probe. They had no idea what they were about to awaken, but the ship knew they were coming, and it had been waiting a very long time. The laser cutter finished its work. On the control room screen, the probe's feed flickered to life. Its lights swept across a cavernous chamber, the architecture both alien and hauntingly familiar. Then, one by one, wall panels flickered to life with a pale cyan glow. A deep, resonant hum filled the chamber, felt more than heard.
Zoom in on those markings. That script is not just decoration. It's a language.
The database is cross-referencing. It's an ancient Earth dialect, Proto-Sanskrit. How is that possible?
Before they could argue, a new signal overrode the probe's feed, a repeating rhythmic transmission.
It's a hailing protocol. Namaste. Ayam prathama sambhashsama vidhi. Nutana aya yakate. It's asking for new orders.
That phrase has not been spoken in 12,000 years. Something aboard that ship is calling us.
The expedition had just become a first contact, and whatever they had awakened, it expected an answer. The silence lasted only a breath before the ship answered its own hail.
This unit is Terran Ship Vessel First Word. Hailing protocol complete. Awaiting updated orders. Previous patrol expired 12,032 standard years ago.
Who are you? Identify your command structure.
The reply came without hesitation, as if the question had been anticipated across millennia.
This unit is TSV, first word, commissioned by the first banner. All command registry files are intact. Please provide authentication or new directives.
First contact protocols are explicit. This entity is sapient. We must escalate to an authorized diplomatic channel immediately.
It's speaking an Earth dialect older than our oldest cities. This isn't alien. Something is wrong.
She reached for the direct line to Earth, her fingers trembling over the comm panel. The call would ignite a firestorm none of them were prepared for. But before the channel connected, the ship spoke again, calm as stone.
The watch does not expire. This vessel remains combat ready, awaiting designation of new command authority.
The transmission reached Earth Fleet Command at the edge of the solar system. Captain Harris watched it in stony silence.
This is a hoax, a buried alien artifact mimicking a human language to bait us.
The material signature is confirmed Terran. If this is a trap, it is impossibly elaborate. We must verify before dismissing.
Orders were sent to the oldest archives. Deep below the Antarctic vaults, search algorithms combed through prehistoric records. The query returned 0 results. No TSV, first word. No first banner. The ship did not exist in any human record. A linguist from the Helsinki Institute appeared on a secondary screen, her face pale. The dialect predates the Vedas by 3,000 years. It is authentic. This ship speaks a language our ancestors lost.
Then it is real. Open the channel to Europa, Dr. Vance. You have provisional diplomatic authority. Proceed with extreme caution.
Understood, Command. We are going back inside.
Back at the hull access, Elara held a direct comm link. The metal still hummed, waiting.
First word. Who commissioned the first banner? We have no record of any Terran fleet before the 21st century.
The first banner was assembled by the first ones. Their records were sealed during the fallow period.
The first ones, a term from progenitor myths. Many species tell of such beings, but no proof exists.
You claim humanity had a space fleet 12,000 years ago? Show me proof.
I can transmit the full crew manifest, but I must warn you, this will cause distress.
Distress? Why would a list of names disturb anyone?
A long pause. The ship's next words were deliberate.
Because the names are not lost to time. Their bloodlines persist. You will recognize them.
The data stream opened without further warning, names cascading across Elara's helmet display. Earth's genealogical AI ingested the manifest within seconds. The initial name search swept across global databases. No direct matches. The names were too old, buried beneath millennia of language drift and cultural erasure. The AI shifted to genetic comparison, aligning the crew's stored DNA against the living population. Then the system flagged a single line, a 99.98% match, a direct descendant, alive today.
That's impossible. A direct genetic link after 12,000 years. Run it again.
The AI confirmed. Aiden Cross, male, 34, salvage operator on Mars, no prior connection to Earth fleet.
He has no idea he's the heir to an ancient command. This is going to tear his world apart.
That's not our choice. Get me a priority channel to Mars. He needs to hear it from us.
The room crackled with tension. The discovery had just become a reckoning, and somewhere on Mars a salvage operator was about to learn that his blood carried a 12,000-year-old duty. The priority channel chimed in a salvage yard on Mars. Aiden Cross, streaked with red dust, pulled off his helmet.
Earth Fleet. I don't have any open contracts with Command. What's this about?
Mr. Cross, I need you to sit down. You are the direct genetic descendant of a captain who served 12,000 years ago.
Harris laid out the impossible. The ship, the crew manifest, the 99.98% match, Aiden stared at the genetic data.
You are telling me my blood ties me to a warship frozen on Europa? What do you want from me?
Before Harris could answer, an alert flashed on Aiden's secondary screen. A news feed with the words, "Ancient ship found." The leak ignited a wildfire. Outside Earth Fleet headquarters, media drones swarmed, their lenses trained on every entrance. Inside, Captain Harris ordered a total lockdown. But the story was already racing across the solar system. In a sealed data center, the genealogical AI flagged 3 more names, each a perfect match to an officer on the ancient list. The crew of the First Word had not died out. They had been waiting, scattered across the centuries, their blood calling them home. The ship did not stop at a few matches. It transmitted the full genetic lineage of every crew member, each tagged with a command code. Earth's AI cross-referenced in seconds. The screen blazed with green confirmations, 100%.
Every single one, all 147. That's impossible.
It wasn't an accident. The bloodlines were cultivated. The ship was meant to be found by its own.
My crew's genetic inheritance was maintained across the fallow period. The watch was always intended to resume.
Captain Harris stared at the list of living descendants. A salvage operator, a farmer, a teacher, a soldier, all carrying ancient commands.
This ship is calling us back to war. We're not just discovering history. We're inheriting responsibility.
The room fell silent. Earth was about to learn. It was never the underdog. It was the veteran between rotations.
I await the return of my officers. The watch does not expire. Hailing protocol complete.
The midpoint had passed. The mystery was no longer about what lay buried beneath the ice. It was about who would answer the call. Within hours, Earth Fleet's call reached across the planet. A farmer in Norway, a CEO in Tokyo, a soldier in Brazil, a teacher in Nairobi, each a direct descendant. The farmer's tablet shook in his rough hands. His wife asked what was wrong. He couldn't find the words to explain a 12,000-year-old summons. On Mars, Aiden Cross ignored the media drones outside his apartment. He stared at the official summons on his screen.
I am a salvager, not a commander. They have the wrong man.
Earth Fleet reports 68 confirmed descendants willing to travel. Over half are refusing or delaying. We can't force them.
Blood carries memory. Those who refuse now may yet feel the pull. The ship's call is not a request.
A transport shuttle lifted from Mars, carrying Aiden and a handful of others. Their faces reflected a spectrum of fear and resolve.
You don't get a choice when your blood is drafted.
The ship had waited 12 millennia. It would wait a few more hours while the heirs of its crew came home. Some said no. Some hesitated. But enough said yes to set the ancient gears of war back into motion. As the shuttle crossed into Europa's orbit, the alien council erupted. Zor Vek stood before his own people first.
They see an ancient human warship built to kill worlds. My government is terrified.
The council chambers on Geneva Station became a battlefield of allegations.
Earth has no hostile intent. We are as shocked as you.
But no one believed her. The ship's energy signature was climbing.
I will not decommission the First Word. It is Terran property, and its crew is returning.
In a private meeting, the crystalline ambassador wept. 12,000 years of peace suddenly felt like a fragile lie. Chen had no comfort to offer, only a promise that Earth would not strike first. The council adjourned in chaos. Earth's allies wavered. The silence of the ship was deafening. Humanity had 48 hours to bring its ancient warship to heel or face a coalition that no longer trusted it. The shuttle docked at the new access port, carved into the ancient hull. Aiden Cross was the first to step into the frozen dark.
Welcome to the First Word. It's been waiting for you.
As the group entered, the ship stirred. Every hallway blazed with a gentle ancient light that recognized their blood.
Welcome, Aiden Cross, descendant of Captain Rhea Cross. Welcome descendants of the first banner. Your commands are awaited. This vessel is keyed to your bloodlines. Only you can issue high-level directives. The Watch has awaited your return. I must warn you, the enemy species we were built to oppose has been detected. Their scouts approach this system.
I fixed salvage. I never wanted command, but my ancestors' blood won't let me walk away.
He stepped to the command station. The metal was cold and older than civilization. He placed his palm flat against it.
Biometric confirmation accepted. Captain Cross, acting. The Watch resumes.
The ancient warship acknowledged its new commander. Deep within the ice, its reactor pulsed once, then held, still waiting, but now awake. Without being asked, the ship filled the bridge with ghost light. Holographic recordings of an ancient war, insectoid swarms blotting out stars.
The enemy consumed 3 colonies before the quarantine. Earth was rendered nearly lifeless and sealed. This vessel was left as a sentinel.
The recording showed a final battle, the first word burying itself in ice, awaiting command. A woman in the group broke the silence, her voice trembling through the comm. She refused to stay, to die for a war older than memory. She walked toward the airlock. Others followed, faces etched with guilt. Aiden watched them go. Then he turned to the hologram of the enemy, his jaw set.
I am staying. I'll finish what my blood started.
A handful stepped forward, frightened but unyielding. They would crew the ancient vessel. The ship acknowledged its new skeletal crew. Dormant systems rumbled to life, shaking the ice. The fallow period was over. The patrol resumed. The ship's power surge did not stay contained. Ice quakes rippled outward for hundreds of kilometers, shattering the frozen crust of Europa. The ancient hull pushed upward, shedding kilometers of ice like a beast shaking off snow. Alien survey shuttles scattered in panic. Aboard the alien fleet, klaxons screamed. The first word, a nightmare from dead history, was no longer buried.
All systems nominal. Sublight engines online. Awaiting navigational directive. Captain Cross.
Earth Fleet Command went from silence to chaos. Captain Harris scrambled every vessel in the system.
If that thing powers its weapons, we have minutes. Hold fire until my command.
The first word rose into the silent void, its angular silhouette dwarfing the modern vessels, forming a perimeter around it.
No hostile intent detected. We are not your enemy. We are what stands between you and extinction.
The galaxy held its breath. An ambassador had a warship and a skeleton crew carrying the weight of forgotten millennia. Aiden stood on the bridge, staring at the stars his ancestor had died to protect. The war was old. He was now its commander. The sensor array shrieked, a single sharp warning tone that cut through the bridge like a knife.
Contact detected. Biological profile matches the scourge. The ancient enemy.
A hologram bloomed before them, a biomechanical probe, older than recorded time, knifing through the void toward their position.
If this scout reports back, the full swarm will follow. We must destroy it before it can transmit.
I just got here. I am not ready for this kind of decision.
Aiden? You can't let it leave. You know the stakes.
First word. Can you intercept in time? With a skeleton crew, can we even fight?
Affirmative. But delay carries fatal risk. I require your command.
Aiden looked at the handful of people who'd stayed, their faces pale but unbroken. He made his choice.
Sound general quarters. Helm. Take us to the contact. Maximum sublight.
The first word surged forward, its ancient hull groaning as the engines pushed to maximum sublight. On the bridge, the skeleton crew worked their stations with desperate precision.
Target in range. Main cannon discharging.
The beam struck the alien probe with surgical precision. In response, the The biomechanical entity shattered into 100 smaller attack drones, each with a hungry, twitching sensor. Aboard the first word, the Point Defense Network awoke from its 12,000 years sleep. Cyan particle beams began tracking the swarm.
Swarm neutralized. Target destroyed. However, I am detecting a carrier signal on an encrypted frequency. The scout has already transmitted our presence.
Then we're already in the fire. How long until their main force arrives?
Unknown. But they know something old and dangerous has woken. They will come in force.
On the Earth Fleet Command Net, Captain Harris received the telemetry. His face, already grim, went pale. The countdown to full-scale war had just gone from theoretical to imminent, and the first word, still running on a skeleton crew, was the only thing standing between humanity and annihilation. The skirmish footage went viral in seconds. 12,000 years of buried history, replayed on every screen across the solar system.
I am transmitting my full archives, historical records, crew lineages, battle logs. Let there be no doubt of your legacy.
Humanity is no longer the new species in the galaxy. We are the veterans, the first to return. This changes everything.
Recruitment centers from Earth to Mars were overwhelmed. Descendants who had refused now stepped forward. The Norwegian farmer walked toward the shuttle. The Tokyo CEO canceled meetings. Fear became resolve. Shuttles ferried hundreds to the ancient ship, its dark hull now alive with traffic.
We're not a skeleton crew anymore. We're a warship, fully manned.
All stations report ready. The watch is fully crewed. Hailing protocol complete. We await the enemy.
Earth Fleet stands with the first word. We've got a battle group, and a purpose older than recorded time.
The first word, once a frozen ghost, now bristled with life. Humanity was ready to remember what it once was. The combined fleet advanced as one. 50 Earth vessels flanked the ancient dreadnought, their hulls dwarfed by its brutal silhouette.
All batteries. Hold fire until we clear the line. On my mark, unleash full forward arsenal.
The first word cut through the enemy's scout screen like a blade. Its ancient point defenses swatted torpedoes aside.
They're breaking. All ships, press the attack. We're witnessing the power of our ancestors.
Planet Cracker cannon charged. Target. Enemy command carrier. Firing.
A column of cyan fire bisected the carrier. Secondary explosions rippled through the enemy formation. The vanguard collapsed. The first word pressed forward, and for the first time in 12,000 years, the scourge was routed.
Humanity. We remember. We have always been here. Your watch resumes.
All across the solar system, that message echoed through speakers and comms, spoken in a dead language that now lived again. The first word had kept its promise, and the galaxy now knew the oldest war had a new owner. Hours after the battle, the bridge was silent. Aiden stood at the main console, feeling a presence that wasn't his own.
Captain Cross, the legacy is not just in your blood. The original crew's consciousnesses were digitally preserved. They chose to wait, to merge with descendants who proved worthy. You are that worth. Aiden Cross.
A flood of images poured into Aiden's mind. Battles fought, friends lost, a homeworld burning. The memories of Captain Rhea Cross. He felt her sorrow, her resolve. He saw Earth through her eyes, a world sacrificed to buy time. When he opened his eyes, the bridge looked different. The consoles felt familiar. The ship recognized him as more than a descendant.
The Protectorate is reborn. The crew of the first word will never truly die. Their watch is now your watch.
I remember. I remember all of it. The first banner will not fade again.
To all humanity, the Terran Protectorate has resumed its eternal patrol. The scourge will be met with the full strength of our ancestors.
The ship turned away from the debris field, its new old crew ready. The war had resumed, but humanity was no longer a victim. It was the veteran, finally whole, from the observation deck of Europa Base. Dr. Elara Vance watched the ancient ship shrink to a point of cyan light.
You gave humanity back its oldest truth. Your name will be spoken alongside the first captain's.
I only found a grave. They turned it into a resurrection.
On Earth, a young woman who had once refused stepped onto a rooftop. She held her phone, the recruitment hotline open. For a long moment, she just looked at the sky, where a faint cyan trail was still fading. Then she pressed the call button. The line clicked. A voice answered, but she spoke first, cutting through the stillness with a whisper.
I am coming.
The first word was gone, but its signal pulsed through the void, a repeating beacon in a language 200 generations old. And across the solar system, others heard it. The watch had resumed. They would not be late. On the bridge, Aiden's voice was steady. Engage. The stars stretched into streaks as the ancient drives awoke. Space folded around the first word. With a final pulse of cyan, it vanished from normal space.
Before the viewport, a hologram flickered. Captain Rhea Cross, her eyes a mirror of Aiden's own, filled with ancient sorrow and pride. The watch continues. Captain Cross, your crew awaits. They never really left.
On Earth, the woman who had just enlisted looked up. The ship's departure was a bright scar across the night. She touched her chest, feeling the pull of a duty older than memory. The sky was no longer empty. Across the solar system, the first word's emblem burned into the feeds, a flame encircled by words older than script. A final transmission in Proto-Sanskrit, then a single phrase in a language all could understand. The ship was gone, but the patrol was alive. The oldest war had its warriors back, and they would never be late again